Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast, and thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're watching or if you're listening on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you're watching on YouTube, even I think you can listen on YouTube now, I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to be talking about the Kryptonite Death Grip traction bars. And exactly, I've been asked this because I've been asked actually quite a few times over the last 2 years. I made the install video on this about 2 years ago. On YouTube, I'll see if I can drum up some screen recorded footage or something like that of the install. But when I did it, unfortunately, my computer doesn't have a lot of space. You know, I'll be honest with you guys, starting out, I'll start out this podcast, start out this YouTube podcast, all this stuff. I do this on a major budget. I'm a strict budget. Any help is awesome, and I appreciate it absolutely. That's why I run the merchandise, to be able to do these videos for you guys, these installs, these product testing, these product reviews. The chances that this stuff that I'm doing is sponsored is extremely rare. I don't get sponsors a lot. Croyle, I had that sponsorship last year. I still have a great relationship with them. I'm still working that out with them. But most of the time, if it is a truck part, it's not sponsored. That just seems to not happen. And so I do appreciate all the support on the YouTube channel. That's really what generates some traffic for me. If you want to know how much I'll make, I'll tell you right now. I make roughly about, recently it's grown a lot more than it has been. I went about a year and a half at just basically making $100 to $130 a month. Now I'm making about $200 to $250 a month. So it's grown a little bit, but you guys know the cost of these truck parts, and $250 a month. I'm filming this on a $1,600 camera with a $100 tripod with a $300 microphone setup. So like, it's expensive, right? So this Kryptonite traction bar setup was roughly, I think, $1,000 plus. I had them powder coat it, which personally, I wish I didn't. I wish I would have just ordered black, because I think it cost an additional $300 for powder coating. And it wasn't the greatest powder coat job, I would have to admit. And so that's quick review of the bars themselves. Just get them the standard color in black. Also, try and order them from a part store. Like, send DMAX store a message. Try and order them from DMAX store or all their suppliers for Kryptonite, because it's going to come a lot faster than typically from Kryptonite themselves, because I've noticed over the years Kryptonite, I wonder how the wind's going to do with the new microphone. But anyways, I've noticed that Kryptonite seems to supply their suppliers first before they send out their parts to their customers. So they're direct sales, you could say, direct to consumer. But anyways, about these traction bars, they are a full floating traction bar. It has the drop shackle up front here. That's the reason why I went with these. Basically 2 years ago, it was between these and Caltrax. These are very quiet. When you're driving down the road, you don't even notice that you have them behind your truck. You don't notice it. They're 100% worth the $1,000 that they cost. They are very expensive. They come with that outstanding Kryptonite warranty, and you just can't, there's nothing I have here to complain about the traction bar setup. And the install, I love the bolt-on install. I got nothing against welding. I don't know how to weld. We're going to find out how I'm going to weld here soon. But anyways, I don't know how to weld, so full bolt-on was kind of what I was going to go for. So HSP, I think, is a full bolt-on one, so that was kind of going to be the route I was going to go. And then I found these, they were full floating, and it was just a marriage made in heaven. You know, it was perfect. Like I said, the one downfall is the powder coating wasn't really that great. So I had them re-powder coated, the beautiful Illusion Blueberry, which I'm a big fan of. I also have something else that's going to come back here that's going to be Illusion Blueberry for you guys that is really not necessary, but I like it and I think it's cool. But anyway, and supporting small business. So yes, I'm ranting. It's a podcast. Okay, comment, this guy just rants. It's a podcast, deal with it. It's 100% real too. I don't really bullshit around. This is non-scripted too. We're just going off the whole shebang. So we're just going off the top of my head, and I will edit a few times, but I don't edit a whole lot on the podcast. So, but anyways, full floating traction bars, big fan of them because they allow your suspension to travel while you're not putting the load while you're not applying the load to the rear axle. So when you're applying the load to the rear axle, there's a drop shackle down here, and there's that bump stop. When you apply the load, when you apply the torque, you apply the rear wheel horsepower, that drop shackle pushes against that bump stop, and holds your axle in place. So you're not gonna have any axle twist, any axle wrap. You're not gonna have any of that wheel hop that you get. I had wheel hop like crazy on this truck. Absolutely, every single time I had wheel hop. Every single time with the modifications of this truck, I had wheel hop. They're not crazy modifications. So before you're asking, I hit years ago, it was like 3 years ago was the last time I dynoed my truck. I had like, shit, what was it? Stock transmission, 511 horsepower, 800 some torque or something like that. I can't remember. But that's the max I hit off of 3 poles. It was like, it kept going up too. It was 496 and then it was like 506 or something like that, or 508. And then I hit 511. I was like, holy shit, I was very surprised. This 68 millimeter turbocharger from Lincoln Diesel Specialties, stock transmission, stock fuel besides a fast lift pump. I do have head studs, gaskets, and high flow kit. But anyways, traction bar kit gets rid of wheel hop immediately. As soon as you put this kit on your truck, wheel hop is gone. Don't worry about it. Axle gone. Don't have to worry about it. It's worth every penny. Now I know there's cheaper bars out there that you can get that are much cheaper. And if you're building like a pull truck, probably just get the cheaper bars. But I daily drive this thing and I tow a lot of things with this truck, and that's what this is going to be. I will do pulls locally here in the future when I get my built transmission, whenever that's going to be, because again, I'm on a budget. This YouTube channel's on a budget. I can only spend so much money per month. And if I do, I could save up. Like I could go months of saving up and buy a built transmission with the budget I have. But the problem is then I won't have any content for those months saving up. Or if I did have content, it'd be pretty shitty little like, let's review a light bulb. You know, like it's just, it wouldn't be what I want to do for you guys. You know, like I've got control arms coming up for you guys. I've got wheel bearings coming up for you guys. I got all sorts of stuff coming up for you guys. But so I can't do that. So if you're building like a pull truck or a street race truck, drag truck, definitely probably wouldn't go with these. I mean, you don't need full floating at that point. The purpose of full floating is to appeal to the daily drivers, is to appeal to those guys that are using their trucks for hauling and towing. That's what the full floating appeals to us for. And I can tell you right now, for a daily driver, I would stick these on any daily driver any day. Hands down, wouldn't question it. I'm very impressed with them. They're expensive, and you guys know that I'm not like this massive Kryptonite fan. I'm not one of those big quote-unquote fanboys, you guys could say. I'm not a massive Kryptonite quote-unquote fanboy. They have great products out there. Absolutely, I'm not going to argue that at all, but you don't necessarily need to buy everything that's Kryptonite. You know, like the ultimate front-end kit would be outstanding to have, but is it 100% necessary? I don't think so. You have D-Max Thor tie rods that come in, I think, at $220 for the pair. You've got different sets of tie rods. You've got different sets of upper control arms, different sway bar end lengths that people have. You know, I personally really like the sway bar end lengths. I personally like the bump stops, and I like their ball joints. Those are my big 3. Wheel bearings, not so much. I'll get to that when we do wheel bearings in the future here, or you can listen to other videos that I did. I don't remember if I talked about it or not. But anyways, I'm not this huge massive Kryptonite fanboy, and I'm not coming here to tell you, buy Kryptonite, buy Kryptonite, buy Kryptonite. That's not what I'm here to tell you. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to talk to you about the fact that traction bars benefit your truck, especially if you're running any aftermarket modifications on your vehicle, whether that's fuel, whether that's turbo, whether that's high flow, whether you've just got simple tunes, whether you've just got a basic truck and you got a 5-position and you're running extra horsepower. It's going to get rid of that axle wrap for you, and take the axle wrap out of it. Before I got these beefy, so I've got these 7-in-1 leaf spring pack from SD Truck Springs. Again, not sponsored. Just because I mentioned just because I mentioned the company's name doesn't mean it's sponsored. My goodness, I've had a lot of people recently. The reason why I'm saying it like that is because I've had a lot of people saying it just sponsor, or he does this or he does this. It's mainly on TikTok. He's doing this, or this is a product demonstration for the company. It must be nice to be sponsored. I don't have a tool sponsorship. I don't have anything like that. So, but anyways, these are SD truck string 7-in-1. I got these for basically the hauling capacity. It really increases the hauling capacity on these trucks. I'm really big fan of it. I think the stock, I don't know, I'll talk about it at a different time. But anyways, so I got these, and before I got these, I had just the traction bars, and I towed quite a few things with it. That my truck, sorry if that messed you guys up. But anyways, I towed quite a few things with it. And to be honest with you, it improved towing drastically. It improved my handling while I was towing drastically. You could really feel what you were towing behind you a lot better in a good way, not in a bad way. Not like when you're driving and you can feel your truck's really struggling, or you can feel like parts or components of your truck. You know, we connect with our trucks when we're towing. You can feel and hear certain noises, and it's a great feeling. It was an awesome feeling when I installed these. And I tell you right now, when I pulled my parents' camper, when I had just these on, it was great. So now I'm really excited to see how things go. But anyways, if you don't know what axle wrap is, I don't have the ability to throw videos up on it. I'm not going to steal somebody's video on it. I don't have cameras that I was willing to sacrifice and take video underneath. Pandamax truck pulling. Let's see, on TikTok, I think they have it on YouTube as well. I want to reference their video. Because if you can go see their video, I don't know if it's either, so it's either at Baby J Ray or Pandamax. Let's see here, where are you? Or Pandamax Pulling Team. It was one of either of those two. They're the same group. They did a video on their truck with axle wrap. They had a GoPro linked underneath, so go check them out. That's basically what I'm getting at. My God, my camera's getting hot. Hold on. This is gonna be a cut because all right, so we're cut. We're back. Like I said, it's like 90-some degrees out. That's why I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, shorts, and I worked out this morning. But anyways, go find them. And well, not on YouTube. It's on TikTok and Instagram. Go find them. Watch that video. I highly suggest it, or just look up other videos on axle wrap, and so you know what I'm talking about. It completely gets rid of it 100%. There's no sugarcoating that. There's no I gotta lie about that. It 100% works. These things are great. I recommend them to people. If you're running a daily driver, I recommend these Kryptonite Death Grip traction bars to everyone, and it's not because I'm some Kryptonite fanboy. Fanboy. Jeez, it's hot. Maybe I should be drinking. Ugh. But anyways, it's not that I'm some big Kryptonite fanboy and that's why I'm like, oh, go buy it. No, I'm not. 100% I'm not. There are many different traction bar companies out there. Heck, even people do it on the side as a side job. They basically build their own bars. They get their Heim joints and they say, here you go for $500. Here's a traction bar setup. You know, you get them raw for $400, $450. They're out there. You can get them. But you're not going to get the warranty that Kryptonite gives you, and you're not going to get that full floating. That full floating is what sold me. Don't get me wrong. Kryptonite's warranty is awesome, but what truly sold me on them was the fact that they're full floating, and I'm not lying. I'm telling 100% the truth. This is not sponsored. I'm telling 100% the truth. You don't notice they're back there when you're driving down the road. You don't notice it when you're turning. You don't notice it when you're going backwards or forwards or yada, yada, yada. The only time you notice it is when you give it hell and you get on it and you don't have any more axle wrap. That's when you notice it. That is, honestly, they are great kits. I highly suggest if you're throwing, if you're throwing any type of traction bar kit on your truck and you have a daily driver, I highly suggest saving up for these and buying them. You're gonna have to wait a little bit probably. I think I had to wait like 6 weeks, I think it was, when I ordered them. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna listen to people complaining about things taking so long. And I'm sorry, you know, it's just one of those things that if you want some of these products, you have to wait a while. I understand I got nothing to do with these companies, by the way, but I hear it all the time. I get it all the time. I'll get messages. I'll get all sorts of good comments, get messages about, well, this should take this long, this took this long, this took that long. Dude, there's nothing I can do, bro. Seriously. Like, bro, come on. I can't do anything about it. I wish I could. I don't have that type of relationship with these companies. Heck, I don't have any relationship with Kryptonite other than every now and then I talk to them on on Instagram. Other than that, I don't have any relationship with them. I'm not out here just trying to sell you a Kryptonite product is kind of what I'm getting at. I'm out here to explain to you that they work. People want this video. People want this podcast. People want me to talk about them because realistically, there's not a lot of people that have them. And the whole, oh, they hang low. I don't have a truck currently to compare them to, but I guarantee you they don't hang any lower than any other traction bar set. And actually the way that they kind of dip down, you might save clearance. You might actually save clearance versus regular traction bar sets up. Because it's not, you know, like, it's not freaking 60, 72 inches long. You know, it's I don't know, 48 maybe. I'm measuring with my hand, so I don't know, maybe 60 inches. I don't know, 5 feet. But so I'm not out here just to basically sell you this product. I'm out here to let you know they work. And there's not much I can say about it. There's not much I can say about traction bars other than they prevent wheel hop, they prevent axle wrap, they lock up your suspension to do that. But these full floating ones, when you're traveling normally, your suspension travels like normal. So there's not a whole lot to say about it. This podcast was a little lengthy because I kind of went on a few rants. That tends to happen on my podcast if you haven't followed me yet. But it gives me an opportunity to talk about shit that I can't talk about on the YouTube channel, that I can't talk about TikTok, that I can't talk about on Instagram, because there's, you know, this whole view duration thing. There's this whole, oh, we're getting hot again. My goodness. This is what I get. This is what I do. All right, now I try to put it in the shade and hopefully that works. Oh, the doggies are out. But anyways, it gives me the opportunity to kind of go on those rants, talk a little bit longer, because I can't do that on the YouTube channel. It affects the videos way too much. I can see it. I appreciate you guys that listen to the videos or watch the videos all the way through. It helps the channel. I don't think you guys understand how much commenting, liking, and watching the video all the way to the end actually helps my videos. Like it's drastic. Like it really, really helps it. And YouTube is looking for that. So I don't know what YouTube is all exactly looking for. What's up, bud? What's up, buddy? Hey, how's it going, bud? I don't know exactly what YouTube is looking for. Yeah. But I can't go on those big long rants like I can on the podcast. That's the whole reason why I started the podcast, is so I can rant about these products. I can tell you whether it's a piece of shit, whether it works really well, or whether it's really just not worth your time, or whether it is worth your time. That's the whole point of these podcasts. So yes, they are going to have rants. They are going to have stuff exactly what I'm doing right now. But that's the whole purpose of it. So I'm not here to sell you a Kryptonite traction bar cut. I'm just here to tell you the shit works. And it works really well. And I'm a big fan of them. It cost me $1,000, and I tell you right now, I would save up again and buy $1,000 ones for this truck right behind me here. I 100% will. I love them way too much. They will not work with long bed trucks. Okay, they haven't come out with that. It doesn't seem like they're going to come out with that, but they will not work with long bed trucks. Only with short bed trucks, the 6.5 foot beds. So keep that in mind. I don't know if they have other years for. I don't know what they cover, as in other trucks, whether they do Dodge or Ford. I don't know if they do that or not for those traction bars. I would think they would, but don't quote me on that. So I suggest them. The moral of this podcast, if you could literally have started the podcast, checked me out in my shorts, made a nice white leg comment because I wear pants 99.8% of the year. You could have started, looked at me in my shorts, skipped all the way to the end, and here I am. They stop axle wrap, they stop wheel hop, they float like normal while you're working, your suspension is traveling like normal, so you don't feel it when you're driving on the road, you don't feel it when you're just daily driving, and they work really well. They cost $1,000, they're Kryptonite Traction Bar Death Grip Series. They have a lifetime warranty, I don't think on the bushings or the greaser fittings. It's the hard metal is what the warranty is on, so you could have literally skipped the entire podcast and just said, just listen to that, because that's basically what they do. That's basically what it is. I'm just telling you for my experience of these traction bars. I like them. They're great. They work awesome, and I highly recommend them. I recommend other Kryptonite products as well. I'm not a massive fanboy. Do your research. Make sure you understand what you're putting on your truck. I will say this every single time. Do research. Make sure you understand what you're buying, make sure you understand what you're putting on your truck, and make sure you understand how you're installing it. Watch other videos, watch other product demonstrations, watch other product reviews, formulate your own opinion, and make these purchases on your own. I don't want somebody to watch this video and go make a purchase just off of watching my video. I don't want that. You need to understand there's more things out there, and I want you to know what you're buying, and I want you to be comfortable with what you're buying. That's a fact. So have a good day, night, morning, evening, whenever you're listening to this thing, maybe you're watching it on your third shift at work right now or listening. I appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you follow the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We want to hit 10,000 followers. My freaking camera is going to go out again. It's even in the shade. So that being said, have a great day, night, afternoon, whenever. Have a good one. I have a little bit of time left. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching.